let's do this. The Eagles. I think
Birds.
after, again, the day after a loss or a day after a win, you're still running on adrenaline. You're in major reaction mode. So then the day after, when you've calmed down a little bit, it's like, all right, so how do you now feel, right? And I definitely, even when the Eagles had a winning record, and they've won 3 straight games now, and they're 5-2, but to me, it was like, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel like a Super Bowl winning team. Yeah, they'll win 9 or 10 games, but are they going to win much more than that? So now at 5-2, with a really big stretch coming up, they've won 3 straight games. The question is, do you think this is real? As being a creature in the moment, you're going to feel great after wins, and you're going to feel bad after losses. But does this feel real and sustainable? And to me, it absolutely, positively does. It does. Early on, you saw a lot of inconsistency on offense. And I guess if you're taking your boot out of the melting pot, which is Philadelphia, and you're like trying to fairly analyze it, yeah, it probably was going to be a little bit of a growing process here with a new offense, with a new offensive coordinator, with Saquon Barkley coming in. And now it's like, okay, what's the balance of what we want to do on offense? How much are we running the ball? Are we running the offense through Saquon Barkley? What exactly are we doing? And what you've seen the last 3 weeks, and you saw it against the Giants, and then you saw them still do it against the Bengals, but you saw the offense is now running through Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
The Bengals were locked in on stopping Saquon Barkley. And then fourth quarter, when the game was almost decided, he got 7 carries, I think, for 57 yards. But it didn't matter that the Bengals were locked in on stopping him, because that just meant Jalen Hurts was going to beat him through the air. And that's exactly what happened. Kellen Moore did a great job with play calling because he kept going to the running back. He didn't forget that they still need to run the football, even if you're only getting 2 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry. You can't come in with 3 straight passes and go 3 and out.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw a lot of last year, and that's what we saw a lot of earlier this season. It was fairly predictable and wasn't working. But he's adapted his system, Kellen Moore, to fit Jalen Hurts, to fit Saquon Barkley. Kellen Moore might have studied film in the offseason to try to get ready for being the offensive coordinator and then training camp. But until you actually play the games, that's when you're like, all right, here's what I need to do. So through 7 games, the Eagles offense has adapted well, and it feels like right now they found their identity in what they want to do. And the defense, to me, is the most impressive part and the most energizing for me as a fan, because you're seeing young stud players emerging right before our eyes. And Vic Fangio's done a better job in the last couple of weeks of adapting and adjusting during games. Remember that? Forget which game it was, but he was just allowing everything up. Like they didn't bring the corners up. They were just letting the other team dink and dunk and dink and dunk. We haven't seen that in recent weeks. So, JP, I think that this is very much sustainable. This feels like now, playing great week 4 doesn't mean squat. Starting to play well now and coming into your own and figuring out what you are is far more important right now. And that's what it feels like the Eagles are doing right now to me. So I feel great about this right now. And this does feel real. I feel like that if you're looking for reasons to believe that this team can win the Super Bowl and get back to the Super Bowl, we're seeing them right now.
I don't know if I can go Super Bowl just yet, but like the last 2 weeks definitely has given us a little bit of confidence here with the Birds. And it's tough to judge this team because early on they were dealing with some significant injuries. When you lose one of the best receiving duo in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, it's definitely tough to produce some offense, but they found a way to get some wins. But the last 2 weeks, I think that's the big part about it, John, is like on offense, it seems like they have their identity. And if you ask Nick Sirianni, identity is a different term, right? But, dude, run the ball, set that run game up, and it's kind of like 2022, but I think there's a little bit of a different wrinkle because you don't have to rely on just like that spread offense when you're just running a lot of RPOs and RPRs, right? You can put Jalen Hurts under center. You can use some Ben Van Sumeren, and you saw Ben in that second half when they were trying to kill that clock. Dude, you know me, I love the fullback. The fullback is back in the NFL in 2024, and it is awesome. But John, to me, the key's not even really the offense because, like, look, when you have Saquon, when you have Devontae, you have AJ, you're gonna get some yards, you're gonna get some points. But to me, the key has been the defense, and what you saw on Sunday was the defense really got you the win there. I mean, that after that first drive, they really clamped down and they shut down that Bengals offense. And more importantly, they created turnovers. We talked about it. They may have not gotten as much pressure as they did on Daniel Jones the week prior, but you got those 2 huge turnovers against the Bengals, gave some solid field position to the Birds, and they were able to capitalize on that. And I think that is duplicatable. So I know a lot of people today are asking and wondering, are the Eagles legit? Are they back? Because obviously it's been a little dramatic in the beginning parts of the year. We've had a little bit of drama that we didn't want to really deal with, but it feels like we're getting back to the football of it. And are they back? And I think that, yes, they are back. Now, Super Bowl contender, I don't know about that. But
well, got a long way to go, luckily.
NFC is pretty wide open, too. Other than the Lions, I mean, who's really scaring you in this conference?
First year with the Commanders, rookie quarterback. I think they're playing great. But again, like, this is a veteran team. The Eagles are a veteran team. The confidence and the swagger that this defense is starting to play with is impressive.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the offense, you can run the offense through Saquon Barkley in the running game, but you also can't be playing catch up all the time. Mm-mm. And if the defense is giving up early points, then that makes the Eagles one-dimensional. It's like, well, we're going to have to throw.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out too, John. We got to start quicker, man.
I mean, don't ask Nick Sirianni. He's got it. He's got all that. But you know what? Last week, it wasn't the offense's fault, because they were actually driving, but the defense was on the field for the first 10 plus minutes of the game.
Yeah. So
you can't blame the offense for last week. But no, but it's true. Like, when you talk about even getting back to a Super Bowl, these things got to be cleaned up. But one more thing, and I want to make sure that I give Jalen Hurts his roses here. I'm not going to go crazy. But I started to see the confident quarterback that I saw at the end of 2022.
Yeah.
Because as much as we say like they're at their best when their offenses run through their running game, that's true. But Jalen also developed into a very confident thrower from the pocket. It wasn't just he's running all over the place. No, he was a true dual threat with his legs and with his arm. He could beat with his arm. We saw that in the Super Bowl. So that's the Jalen Hurts we need to get back to. I don't need 40 passes a game. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm talking about. I need big throws. I need big plays from the pocket so he stays healthy.
You're spot on, John. I mean, like, it's with Jalen, it's all about making the right decisions. And like, yes, we saw the 20 attempts, but obviously, the first drive for the Bengals was like, what? Like, it felt like it was an entire quarter that first drive. So that killed
almost.
It was like, I think it was like 6 minutes and some change. So it really killed half of that first quarter.
No, it was 10 plus minutes.
Oh, really?
Yes, the first drive of the game by the Bengals was 10 minutes and some odd. I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay.
They
definitely, regardless, they definitely killed a lot of the clock. And then at the end of the game, obviously, you're just running it out. But Jalen made the plays that he needed to on Sunday. And of course, the big one, that bomb to Devontae Smith, that's the type of stuff that we want to see. And like, that's the thing, like, that's why, like, I love what they did on Sunday, because yes, the running game was prevalent, but then that sets it up for that big play, that downfield throw to Devontae Smith. And that stuff that was there in 2022. That's why that running game was so prevalent, because that big play was there.
10 minutes and 4 seconds on that first drive.
That can't happen, man.
So here we go again. Awesome. This is what we're going to do. They're just going to march up and down the field. And man, they locked them down after that. They did. They locked them down. So
I'm not going to knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen this week, because we know what Jags don't have.
Well, we'll talk about all that. Harry Mays, my buddy Harry Mays from the old Fanatic days. H is going to join us coming up at awesome. 8:25, so 13 minutes from now. So stay tuned for that.
We all silly like the mayor.